Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is Lounging with Lisa, the video series that has me lounging while coming at you with thoughts of the day. My eyes are like that of Rocky Balboa due to crying all day yesterday and a little bit this morning. I just really wanted to thank all my subscribers. It really means a lot to me. I'm sorry that you got with me about Todd. I know that a lot of people really loved him, even if they didn't know him personally. You know, I wrote about him in my column because I'm going to try to think of good things. He was always... you know, with Joel being madly in love with him and everything, it was always funny. Always funny things to talk about with him. And he had really a good, Todd had character and personality. And, you know, it's just almost surreal because he was only 2.5. And, you know, it's raining today right at the same time that he was killed. We think about 8:25 yesterday morning. Mom found him at 8:30. So, why couldn't it have rained yesterday? He wouldn't have been out prowling. He would have been in. You know how you think of all these things. And you know that we tried to keep him. Anybody who's followed the video series for a long time knows that we tried to keep him on a harness for a long time. And Joel was always in a panic that this would happen to him. And he was right, it did. Because he just, even though he was fixed, he strayed from the house. And when he was on that harness, he would get out of it or, you know, get stuck in a tree. And we thought, this is getting more dangerous than him roaming. I would have to go out and rescue him from hanging in a tree and stuff. So, I just really wanted to thank you all for your kind words. And maybe to kind of tell you what happened, you know. Yesterday it was 8:30 exactly, I remember, because I had my phone here. And Mother called, and she was crying, and she asked, where is Zoe? Because Zoe and Todd had similar looks, not really close up. I mean, Zoe's a Manx with no tail, but at a distance, I would even say, oh, you know, get them confused if they were in certain positions. Todd had that marble marking and was more tan looking, and Zoe's kind of orange. So I said, she's right with me here. Oh, thank God, because there's a cat over here on the side road. That's free road. It goes right out to Route 6 here, this hideous highway. And, I said, oh my God, maybe it's Todd, because Todd wasn't around, you know, right then. So I was in my robe, and I threw on some shoes and went over. And, you know, your mind plays tricks. At first I was trying to think, maybe that's not Todd as I'm picking him up, you know. Maybe it's a stray cat that looks just like him. And, you know, it's just the way that our mind works to protect us is really quite amazing in my view. And, of course, Mother was right with me, and it was clearly Todd, and he had some damage, you know, that was not real pleasant. Not his whole body, though, so that was good. So, you know, we got him a box, and Mother called Joel right away, because Joel always told me, you know, if something happens to Todd, whether he gets sick or, you know, injured, or just call, he would come right home. He didn't want to, you know, us to spare his feelings while he's working or any of that stuff. So he came home, and, you know, I just felt so bad that it happened to him. And, you know, I honestly think that the way that Mother was explaining her morning thing, somebody was pulling into that side road. There's almost a blind spot. And it was a misty morning, and somebody was waving at Mother as kind of they were turning. And I really, honestly, in this case, I think that he was hit, and they didn't know they hit him. Because, that's just how I think. I mean, we had other cats that have gotten killed too over the years, and people haven't stopped. But I think it just sounds like it might have been the guy waving at Mom that accidentally, you know, ran over. I can't imagine he'd hit a cat and just keep going after being friendly with Mom. And I think he probably knows Mother. He's one of the neighbors, but you know, she's almost 91 and doesn't. I don't know. He had a dark car and he was waving, and it's probably somebody she talks to up the road every day or something. So anyhow, it was just really, the last time I discovered one of our cats had been hit was when I was in 8th grade. And we had a blizzard, and Mother said, and I think I was in 8th grade, 8th or 7th, one of those younger years. And we were getting out of school early, and Mother said, no, you are not allowed to walk home. Well, I did anyway. I went against her wishes, and at that time, we had 3 kittens. They were probably, at that point, like, I don't know, a year old or 10 months old or something. And a vehicle came, we kind of leaped into a snowbank right near the house over there. And it was, we noticed a gray, body, and it was in such good shape. Evidently, his name was Puff. He must have been hit and just sort of broke his neck or something. We even thought we could save him. I mean, he looked okay, for a dead animal. And that was the last time. I mean, Spencer, when Sly got killed, my son is the one who came in and said, "Mom, I'm so sorry," and had taken him off the road. He covered his head. That was the only thing damaged on Sly. And that's when I went and got Louise, and then Joel came home with Todd from bear camp. And so our cats were very weird about it, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know how you feel about this, but I can just tell you what happened. We let them see Todd, so they would kind of know. And Zoe sniffed and walked away. Mars sniffed and, backed away from the box. And Louise was very upset. She didn't even really come out from under the couch for most of the day. But, because they were raised together. Whenever Joel brought him home, he was always, from the moment he stepped in this house, he was just really kind of took over. I used to say he was a pitta from the second he stepped in. And it wasn't just Todd, it was Joel's attitude toward him. Todd wasn't really that bad. It was just how Perpetual was freaked out over him all the time and stuff. So, anyhow, they grew up clearly together. And I honestly thought, I mean, Zoe's 17 years old. I really thought the next cat that we would be burying would be Zoe because of her age. She doesn't go near the road, neither does Mars, and Louise does not either. Louise stays very close to the house. But as much as we tried to keep Todd on a harness or, on a 25-foot rope or, whatever, he would not have been happy being in the house. He just wasn't. He was in and out. And it's going to be weird because, the afternoons, sometimes when I have to lie down due to my pain or whatever, he was always in Spencer's old room. That's where I would go to lie down. Of course, I can't now because it's being remodeled. But, he was just very special. And I'm glad that he got to be on the video Sunday. That's nice to go back and look at that. I went to YouTube and typed in my name and Todd and got to see a lot of videos with him and then about him. And, of course, like I said, I wrote about him in my column. So a lot of people felt like they knew him. So, anyhow, that's all. This helped to talk about it, to let you know what happened. I felt so bad for Mom because, seeing she loves animals and stuff, and she thought it was Zoe. She never put two and two together that it might be Todd. He wore the bandana quite a bit, but the last one didn't fit him right, and so he's just been sort of running around, but I don't think anything. I think it was a blind spot, the way where he was on that road. And it was, I think it was an accident and they didn't know. I hope so. Anyway, I'm pretty sure, just because I'm kind of a detective that way, that's what happened. But, because he was had been freshly hit whenever I, went over there, so. And he's buried outside the bedroom window, and that was, Perpetual was, of course, really openly wailing, as was I. Yesterday was a pretty terrible day. A lot of crying. One of my clients called me, and he's like, how are you? As I'm hyperventilating, and I told him, and he said he'd call back today. I hope he does. He's a good advertiser when they go in, so, I have to try to get on with the day. It's just really weird, because I wish, I'm really mad that it didn't rain like this yesterday. And then who knows? He might have been killed on a Friday. I mean, you don't know what happens, or you can't prevent these things, I guess, unless you keep the cat in and make him miserable. So I guess that's all. I just wanted to thank you and let you know kind of more what happened. Lounging with Lisa, the video series that has me lounging while coming at you with thoughts of the day. Please join me, join others, drop your political identities. Let's focus on issues. Leave labels at the door and research before you judge. And I'm not sure how many videos I'm going to be doing. I just need some time, but I just felt that I really wanted to let you know, thank you and everything. Okay, thank you.